Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. It is, of course, the Fruit Nut News, the Fruit Nut News, the Fruit Nut News on, of course, Monday evening, the 11th of the 5th, 11th of the 5th, 11th of May, 2026. Excuse me, how we doing, guys? Are we all okay? For all you people out there having a fucking massive wobble, do not wobble. Do not yield. Do not give in. Keep fucking going. All right? Yes, we're all pissed off. Yes, we can't see the wood for the trees sometimes. Who gives a fuck? Just keep going. Good evening, everyone. We're all okay. So, yeah, very, very interesting tonight. People seem to be losing their shit left, right, and centre. Very interesting, very interesting. Okay, very interesting. Yeah, especially with all the information out there. Yes, it is a bit confusing. Yes, it does get a bit much sometimes, but remember this. We're always on the right side, ladies and gentlemen, because, of course, we're star seeds. Know what I mean? I mean, even the Palladians are sending us messages in cornfields. What the fuck? How much more do you need? Bloody hell. Right, anyway, good evening, everyone. Here we are. It's the Fruit Nut News on Monday. Monday. Oh, yeah. So here we go. Wheel of Fortune's still up there. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 people in the house tonight, and we are going to say hello to Bill Gio. Belinda's in. The lovely Belinda. Sheila Douglas is in. Joanna Unwin's in. Denise is in. Sue from Cardiff is. Sexy Sue from Cardiff there. Psychic, holistic healer, and absolute miracle fucking worker. Sue Allen's in. Glenn Pearson's in from, of course, Scarborough Shire. We've got Gradas in. Sharon Young's in. Natalie Bowen's in. Brenda Corcoran's in as well. We've also got Olivia's in. Graham's in. Lisa Steele is in, of course. David Allen's in. Kirk Fraser's in. Steve Osborne is joining us tonight as well. Jill's in. Sue's in. Annette Lynn's in as well. Annette Lynn. Good evening, Annette Lynn. Kelly Close. That is, of course, Glenn Close's sister, as you all know. And then, of course, we've got Jason Thomas is in. Jason Thomas. There you go. So, good evening, one and all. Hope you're all okay. So, let's start tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with, of course, the Trilateral Commission. Going to join a few dots here. Dots. We're going to join a few dots with the Trilateral Commission. Gordon Brown, Harriet Harman, and some people that are being not mentioned. Anyway, let's start off with the Trilateral Commission. Apparently turned Keir Starmer into a radical person and also a very dangerous man. This, of course, is the Trilateral Commission. Now, remember that, let's go back to the 1980s. Keir Starmer just happened to be in college, so to speak, Oxford College to be precise, and he was heading towards militant tendencies even back then. So very interesting. I think he was also found in a toilet somewhere along the line. That could have been Tony Blair, but anyway, who knows? Now, Starmer, of course, is described as a very weak man. That was Blair, Tony Blair, sorry about that. Lyndon Blair, caught in the toilets, doing some very nefarious things with a urinal, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that's another story. We're going to catch up with that more warmonger one day very soon. You see, you wait and see. Oh, yes, that boy is going to hang by the neck. Let me tell you this. Now, let's go to Starmer. Let's stay with Starmer because he of course, is the jelly baby of the moment, so to speak. Now, Keir Starmer, of course, is very weak and easily led, according to former people that know him. I'm actually not surprised based on his current situation and the way that he's come to power. So, very interesting. How did he come to power? Well, it looks like the Trilateral Commission had him in their sights for a very long time. Apparently, people that were at college with him have reported that undercover cops were always present and nefarious activities were always going on. Of course, we're not particularly sure whether or not at this particular time he was banging rent boys of Ukrainian origins, or whether they were just regular rent boys. Now, of course, we all know that, of course, the Westminster paedophile ring is massively known. And, of course, all these policemen and politicians think that we don't know. They continue to turn a blind eye, but of course the clock is ticking, and it's ticking rather fast. Anyway, that's another story. So, Keir Starmer always had undercover cops around him since the 1980s, a very shadowy figure. Looks to me like they were grooming him back then. No wonder why. And then, of course, there's the incident with Jimmy Savile. Jimmy Savile certainly didn't fix the results of the election on Thursday. But, of course, Jimmy fixed it for, of course, Starmer to get in the position that he did. Now, let's have a look at the Trilateral Commission. Trilateral Commission, why was it set up? Set up around about the 1970s by a fellow called David Rockefeller. You may know him. His name is synonymous with bullshit and corruption, of course. Then, of course, why was the Trilateral Commission set up in the first place? Well, it apparently is one of its golden rules is it's against democracy. Does that sound familiar with Keir Starmer? Oh, fucking yes, it does. Does it sound familiar with the Labour Party? Oh, yes, it does. Who just happen to be friends of Israel, so to speak. And then, of course, this is quite an interesting one, okay? Now, of course, the Starmer joined the Trilateral Commission as a sitting Prime Minister. Very interesting, that one, so to speak. First one, apparently. Now, other trilateral members, you might want to know this. Of course, fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, a trilateral member. Who'd have fucking thought it? Guess who else? Oh, no. Mandelson. Mandelson, a Trilateral Commission member. Well, there you go. Isn't that a coincidence that all of these people are involved? Isn't it a coincidence that Mandelson just happens to be involved in one of the greatest bullshit moves by Keir Starmer over the last few months? Oh, yes. Very interesting. Let's also remember that Jeffrey Epstein and, of course, Mandelson, not only are they members of the Trilateral Commission, but, of course, are also connected to, of course, royalty through Andrew Mountbatten. Oh, yes. That fella that was, wasn't he, some form of a foreign envoy involved in business deals around the world? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And, of course, remember that Donald Trump, of course, was shot by the butler in the kitchen. Don't forget that. That's a very interesting one for us to remember as well. Oh, also as well, trilateral advocates. Larry Fink. Oh, yeah, Larry Fink. A BlackRock person. Oh, fucking hell. It gets even better. I mean, any moment now, David Beckham will be popping in. It's fucking absolutely hilarious. And, of course, as you well know, Andrew Mountbatten, Windsor Orange Man, was, of course, Torpedo Man, was, of course, the trade envoy for Britain, I think it was. Not fucking sure what he did, but anyway. Anyway, listen, it gets even better. They're all connected. They're all in the same pot. They're all pissing in the same pot. And they're probably all touching each other's willies as well. Who knows? Anyway, then, of course, we come to the Friends of Israel. Fucking Friends of Israel. They're also connected to the Trilateral Commission as well. And, well, there you go. Let's have a look at who's friends. Who is Friends of Israel? Well, Friends of Israel are anybody that calls anti-Semitism and supports Israel, ladies and gentlemen, who happen to be going around the world bombing every fucking body in fucking sight. Now, all of the Labour MPs, most of them are Friends of Israel. Conservative MPs are also Friends of Israel. Particularly in the Labour Party, we have Rachel Reeves, Angela Rayner, David Lammy. Oh, yes, Wet Wipe David. Very interesting. The man who stopped gollywog signs on, of course, fucking marmalade. Anyway, now, as you well know, Peter Mandelson and, of course, Morgan McSweeney had a bit of a fall earlier in the week, and of course they've kind of been found out, and it seems to be getting a lot better. So Peter Mandelson and Morgan Sweeney have sort of fallen, so Starmer has to try and reinvent himself with some other characters. Now, most of you probably thinking Gordon Brown, Harriet Harman. No. Them two are a smokescreen, okay? Them two are a smokescreen. Gordon Brown is a smokescreen. Harriet Harman, who actually reminds me of Myra Hindley from the Moors Murderers. I don't know why, she just fucking does. Anyway, Gordon Brown and Harriet Harman are basically something that the media are focusing on. Very interesting. But the media are not focusing on the real people that are involved in this. And that leads us to a woman called Antonia Romero. Very interesting. Now, who is Antonia Romeo? Well, Antonia Romeo was a person that was involved in corporate bullying in the US of A. Noted person as well, let me tell you. Now, she also introduced Palantir to the NHS. Who'd have fucking thought it? Well, very interesting. She also is deeply in love with Harvey Weinstein. You know Weinstein, the fucking sexual paedophile? Convicted rapist, by the way. Oh, yes, that Weinstein. Yes, you know the one. That, of course, is Antonia Romeo. She was pictured many times cuddling up to Harvey Weinstein. Know what I mean? You can see the smoke, and you can also see the screen. And then, of course, we have... now, she's been appointed... Okay, I forgot to mention this. She's been appointed the Labour Cabinet Secretary. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let's keep our eye on that one as well. And then, of course, we've got Margaret Hodge. Not probably heard about Margaret Hodge, but Margaret Hodge is a pretty big hitter. Margaret Hodge, of course, is going to be head of Ofcom. Oh, fucking hell. Where are we thinking here? Oh, yes. The online security bill. Remember that Ofcom are in charge of all media, radio, presentations, etc., etc., etc. What a fucking load of bullshit. And don't forget, she's going to oversee the online safety bill. Well, I fucking never. I just cannot believe that... this is just amazing. Now, not only that, let me just remind you that Margaret Hodge in 1980 ignored the claims of children in nursing homes about abuse, paedophilia, etc., etc., etc. Oh, yes. It's getting very, very exciting. And, of course, the swamp, of course, is genuinely draining itself. What more can we say? What more do we have to do? What more do we have to do? Remember the old saying, you can't... You can't make orange juice out of grapefruit. It's fucking impossible, okay? Which Keir Starmer seems to be trying to do. But it is, of course, very interesting, because remember that the skeletons are all coming to fruition. So if you have got skeletons in your closet, I suspect, or I suggest, that you tell everybody right now, because the swamp is being drained. Now, I didn't know, but Mother's Day, which was it yesterday? Mother's Day was yesterday, happened to be 666 days since Donald Trump had his ear clipped with a nuclear missile. Now, he was saved, of course, by the hand of God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is the same hand of God that was evident with Maradona. I think it was the 1980 World Cup or something. Maradona scored a goal with his hand. Unfortunately, the referee didn't see that because he was highly well paid, and of course, Maradona claimed the header that I think it put England out of the game or something. I can't remember now. It is a while ago. At the time, there was massive uproar. Thank you for that. Mexico 1996. This, of course, is the days of Gary Lineker, the days of very short shorts, the days of very tight shorts as well. Oh, yes. Mexico 86, 1986. I got it wrong there. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, I mean, all you ladies out there drooling over Gary Lineker and in these tight shorts that were just tucked under his armpits. Very, very sexy. Very sexy. And then, of course, we had Vinnie Jones, of course. And then, of course, there was Paul Gascoigne, the crying Mandela. Fucking, those were the days, ladies and gentlemen. Those were the days. Anyway, back to what I was saying in regards to Mother's Day. Now, 666 days since Donald Trump had a very close brush with, of course, the hand of God. And if you think that was real, well, we need to have a chat. Now, apparently, transgender people around the world are now getting offended by Mother's Day. Apparently, it's going to be changed to Parents' Day or Family Day, just to appease the people that apparently are getting offended. I mean, can you remember? It all started back in the day with the gollywog. Remember when the gollywog was banned? Remember that? What a sad day that was. I couldn't believe the gollywog was being banned. Absolutely unbelievable. At the time, as a child, we didn't really understand all that gollywog stuff, but clearly now it seems as though the leftist agenda has pushed its way forward rather quickly. Anyway, enough of that for now. Now, apparently the CDC and the World Health Organization are working flat out to contain the fake rat virus. Now, This was a virus that was, it wasn't caught in Wuhan, no. Not as a bat market or even a wet fish market. No, this was actually two bird watchers who happened to be bird watching in a landfill site. Now, I don't know about you, but the only birds that I can think of that were frequenting a landfill site happen to be dirty birds. I'll leave it to your imagination. Now, Benjamin Netanyahu had the shock of his life earlier in the week when he was rushed out of a conference on defense or whatever it was, and apparently he had to take an urgent call from Donald Trump. Now, Donald apparently was ringing him to tell Netanyahu that there was a golden statue of Donald Trump on the way to Israel, and Donald Trump wanted it put up in the Promised Land on the Mount of Olives to open up the third temple. Fucking amazing shit. Amazing shit there. Now, let's have a look. Now, Elizabeth Warren, a very prominent American senator or whatever you want to call them, she apparently earlier in the year denied that she was taking big pharma money. It now turns out that between 2019 and 2020, she happened to take $822,000 in cash. And probably a few drugs and probably some tins of lager. You never know. Very, very interesting. Now, as we now, of course, Keir Starmer is vehemently denying that there is any corruption taking place in the Labour Party. He's also denying that there's ever been any corruption in any political party. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you back to the grand old days of the 1980s. Now, I remember this very well at the time. It was probably, I would say, maybe one of the first times that corruption was identified within the political theatre, so to speak. And this was where a sitting MP had claimed £50,000 for an absolute fucking duck house for his pond. And then, of course, there was the notorious paperclip. Now, most of the people are thinking Operation Paperclip. No, I'm talking about the MP. I think it was a woman from what I can remember. I don't know who it was. She actually claimed £20,000 for paperclips. It's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. Now, as you well know, the powers that be are trying to implement a rat virus, basically coming from a landfill site, spread by two tourists, or should we say bird spotters. Very interesting this is. So basically we have got a message for all you people that are trying to implement the rat virus, and all you people that are trying to to bring about more COVID bullshit and lockdowns and all that. So we want to send you a golden handshake. A golden handshake, ladies and gentlemen, that just happens to be fashioned in this particular way. There you go. So for all you rat virus fanatics, we've just got to say fuck right off. That's all we got to say. There you go. Now, in a blatant move by Iran responded to Donald Trump today in regards to the peace deal. Okay, now Iran apparently somewhere along the line had heard about the golden Trump statue. Fucking, I tell you what, this movie gets better. So now we've got a Rocky Balboa golden statue in the form of Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, right? At Mar-a-Lago. Now, I'm not sure whether it's gold or not. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. But, of course, what this is telling everybody, it's bringing in, of course, the golden age. But most people have missed all that as well. Now, Iran, in response to this, sent Donald a little present from Iran. No idea how it got there, but anyway, it was delivered to Mar-a-Lago, and when Donald Trump opened it, there was a golden hand in this position. You've got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, if you are not entertained by now, if you are not entertained with all this circus and bullshit, honestly, you clearly have got no fucking humour about you whatsoever. 44 people in the house. Oh, brilliant. Now, earlier today, I did post some pictures of Donald Trump in compromising positions. Now, one of our roving reporters apparently said that the images are AI generated. Now, that doesn't surprise me, but let me tell you, it takes a great deal to actually find out whether or not this is true or false. And I think that, to be fair, at the end of the day, we have to question everything. I mean, you have to have a fucking open mind, like, well, I was going to say something then involving certain ladies of the night, but I don't think I'm going to say that. Now, it is an interesting one. So, we all know about the, you will have seen the latest pictures from Manchester and the latest pictures, from the Tower Hamlets. Now, there seems to be a rather large contingency of certain ethnical people, so to speak. Okay, so this is quite interesting. It seems as though now that Manchester Police and London Police have launched an investigation into voter fraud. Now, this only came to light. This only came to light when certain members of the same family all became politicians. So it looks to me like we, the UK, are having our own 2020 election fucking fraud. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, meanwhile as well, Zach Palensky, this is the Green Party young lad. I'm not going to say that. No, I'm not going to say that. So the Green Party young lad, apparently, who claimed that he worked for the Ministry of Justice. It turns out that he did, but it wasn't the Ministry of Justice that you are particularly thinking about. No, this was the Ministry of Justice in the film Harry Potter. And apparently, Zach had a very small part as Tiny Tim. Dearie me. Absolutely brilliant. You've got to love it. You've got to love it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. I'm going to get myself off. Listen, you know, don't have a wobble. Don't lose your shit. Don't get angry. You know, there just simply isn't any point in getting pulled into the bullshit and the lies and all that. I mean, you know, my advice to anybody is basically, listen, just laugh, watch what's going on, look for the positive stuff, look at the humour, watch the Fruit Nut News. You know, and, you know, sometimes if you can't see what's going on, the best thing to do is just to sit back at, you know, 70,000 feet and watch it all play out. I mean, this has got to be, I mean, you know, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, if you sit down with a cigar and you sit down with a glass of wine, and you really, really seriously think about what's been going on, let's say over the last 6 years, okay? You know, let's not, before then, let's forget about that. Let's just go from 2019, okay? Now, when you look at it, right, when you look at all the things that are going on, right, it is an absolute comedy show. It's an absolute comedy show, you know. Okay, 2019 caught a few people out, you know. It was, you know, it did take a bit of like sitting down and going, fucking hell, what's going on here? But you know, as the year went on and the bullshit got more and more and more, you seriously had to agree that you were in a fucking movie. I'm not joking. It's just, it was so obvious. Probably not to start for a lot of people, but some of this stuff was just ridiculous. I mean, you know, the TikTok dancing with the nurses, the bullshit with, I mean, I mean, there's so many things. The Eat Out to Help Out campaign, what a crock of shite. I mean, you know, the rules and regulations changing, you know, 1 minute you could go to a restaurant, then you weren't allowed to go to a restaurant. I mean, the funniest thing is, I mean, we still got even one down here now. I might take some photos. It was built, and it was, this is when you were allowed to eat outside. And, so they built it and then they covered it. It was open to start with. Then it was, I think it was winter. So they decided to cover it in. So they covered everything in with plastic sheets. They put heaters in there. So you've got heaters and you could stay warm while you were eating. Unfortunately, they never fucking warmed the plates. So it was fucking hilarious. But, you know, all that stuff that happened, you know, you had to wear a mask. You had to wear a mask going into a restaurant. You had to wear a mask as you sat down at the table. As soon as you sat down, you were allowed to take your mask off. And when you went to the toilet, you had to put your mask back on again. It was fucking hilarious. Anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, it's not worth getting even emotionally involved in it. It's just an utter, it was, someone just said it was an IQ test. It was an IQ test to see who I've always said this is the biggest interview on the planet for the new world, for the new world that's coming. You know, we don't want these idiots running the country. We want people that have got some common sense. We want people that have got some sort of kudos about them. We want some people that are going to be transparent. We want people that are going to be honest. We want people that are going to be open. We want people that have got a bit of backbone and that can, you know, say it how it is and all that kind of thing. Okay. And, you know, sometimes there are harsh decisions. You have to make some harsh decisions, you know, and in particular, when it comes to open borders and boats and all that kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for helping people out. I'm all for doing things for people. But sometimes, you know, and this is one thing that I could never understand in regards to wars, okay? And I never probably will understand it. We got some very talented people all over the world, in all different countries of the world. And the wars have been done by design. So the question is, of course, is why are people coming to our country to thrive? Why are people coming to our country for jobs? Why are people coming to our country, okay, to make a living? Why aren't people, okay, why aren't we investing in other countries so that their people, okay, don't have to come to our country, okay? They've got jobs in their own country. You know, they can work in their own country. They can make lots of money in their own country, okay? Why aren't we working towards that? And here's another thing. As a population, as a world population, we are responsible, ladies and gentlemen, for the planet. We're responsible for the ecosystem. We're responsible for what we do with the resources. We are responsible for what we do with the animals. With so many things that we are responsible for. And it's about time, okay, it's about time that forget all these wars, forget all the falling out, forget the animosity, forget the religion, forget the divide, forget the conquer, okay? You know, let's just get on and make this place, you know, fucking heaven on earth. It's very easy to do. It's not difficult, okay? It's not going to cost a lot of money, okay? And you might think that's pie in the sky, but you know what? That's something I focus on every single day. Anyway, listen, I'm going to get myself off. Love you loads. You take care. Have a great time. Enjoy yourself. We will, of course, see you all again tomorrow, which just happens to be Tuesday the 12th. Anyway, love you loads. See you soon.